I'd like to tell you all what it took to put this book together. Is anybody here interested in writing a book or having a book published?
We all are.
I only see one
Still
hand.
waiting on mine. It's sitting. I lost interest in having it published.
So I wanted to say that the process, and I tried to do this in chronological order. First of all, what you need is a manuscript. And Connie took, over many years, she interviewed her relatives. Like she said, they raised 17 kids. She interviewed most of these kids, if not all. She interviewed her grandmother, and she took all this information and compiled it into the story that's in this book. And then I met with Connie a few times over a period of months to discuss things about the book. And so we created chapter headings, chapter titles, and sub-chapters that you'll see in here. It talks about Cajun traditions, like in weddings when people get married, there was a tradition called jumping the broom. And that's one of the sub-chapters in the book that I remember. So the book had to be proofread for spelling errors, punctuation, and to be copy edited, such as maybe rearranging a sentence to make it read better. So I did that for her. And then once I perfected the book as far as punctuation and grammar and all that as good as I could, we made copies and we gave the book out to a lot of her people that she knows. Maybe she's, I think, 15 people she may have given the book to read for feedback, for accuracy, like some of the cousins took the book and read it. And then I gave it to a couple of people to read it for grammar and punctuation and so on. And then we needed to zero in on a subtitle. The one we picked is called The Real Story of the Cajuns. We had a different one before that. So that had to be settled. And the subtitle, the purpose of a subtitle is to create or add clarity to the book, to kind of give it a different spin maybe on the title. And also for marketing purposes. When you have a book for sale, everything pretty much depends on the internet. Amazon.com is strictly an internet business. And if you're going to have a book on Amazon, it would be best if you had a title that would be descriptive of the book, and a subtitle descriptive of the book that would tell the whole story in the title, like How to Make $1 Million in 30 Days. Okay, that's descriptive, although it's a fantasy. But there's something in marketing, in internet marketing, called search engine optimization. You want to have words in the book, on the front cover, the back cover, that are descriptive, say keywords, that when a person wants to know, well, what is the story about the Cajuns? And they'll type in story of the Cajuns. Well, this says real story of the Cajuns, so this may pop up in the results. So this would help to sell more books. So then after all that was done, the next step is we had to decide on a font style. A font is what the actual print, the words are. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of different fonts. And if you are familiar with typing on a computer, you can pick Times New Roman, Arial, and so on and so forth. So we picked a font, and we picked a size that would make it easy to read, and you're not going to have to really squint to see the wording. Then when we had that all done, the next step was Connie had some people that she knew that could read the manuscript and write what we call a blurb, a little review of the book. And so that's one of the things I had asked her to do, was contact the people that she knows. And here we have 3 wonderful reviews here. One is by Jim Bradshaw, a local journalist. One is by Carl Brasseau, who is a well-known guy from UL. And then the third one is from former United States Congressman and Senator from Louisiana, John Brooke. So these 3 wonderful things in the testimonies or reviews on the back of the book help to sell the book. When you have the purpose of the cover of the book, if this is on a shelf in the bookstore, somebody will read this and say, wonder what that's about. Then they'll pick it up and then do what? They'll turn it over. And here at the top of the book, you have the sales pitch. This is what is going to attempt to hook that person into buying the book. They're going to read the paragraph and they say, wow, okay, I need this. And so they pick it up and they buy the book. So that's the purpose of the front and the back cover. Then once we had that together, I asked my son to create a mock-up of the front cover. So we took, Connie told me over the phone what she wanted. She wanted a picture of the house. She wanted a picture of her grandmother and grandfather. So what I did, I took my grandmother's house out in the country in near Lawtell. I put that here. I took my grandmother's picture and put it here, and my grandfather's picture and put it here. So once Jeremy had created a mock-up of the front cover, we had that ready to send to a designer. So we picked a cover designer, one that I was confident with, one that I had worked with for my previous books that I had written. And so we sat with her and we told her what we wanted, and she came up with what you see here. And it took probably 3 visits with our designer to fine-tune and perfect the book. So before we could get with the designer, we had to be dead set on that the interior of the book was too fini. It had to be all finished. Because, okay, this book is, let's say, 238 pages. If it's 250 pages and we give it to her and we tell her it's less, when she makes the designs, the spine, it's not going to be a good match. It's not going to fit. It'll be either too big or too small if you give too less number of pages or too many. So all of that has to be done first, so before you can give it to the designer. The next step is, once this was done, the book has to be what I call put in the system, in the book industry system. That's a place that the publisher will go to online, and he will upload a cover of the front cover. He will upload the interior of the book and have a synopsis, like 300-word synopsis, and add all of this detail about the book. It goes into the system. That way, a Barnes & Noble clerk in Minneapolis can get on her computer in her bookstore and type in the name of the book, and boom, she'll see all about the book and price and everything. Then once all that was done, I made it to be available on Amazon.com, Lightning Source, and Smashwords. Now let me tell you what that is. I guess most everybody knows what Amazon.com is. You can get it as a paperback book and also as a Kindle ebook. Okay, then the other place we put it available on was a place called Lightning Source. They have distribution partners. One of the distribution partners is Barnes & Noble. Another one is the college bookstore group called NAXCARP. And there's a few others. So once you get it into the Lightning Source portal, so to speak, then they will make it available to all these other places. So you do your work one time getting it there, and then they will spread it to all their channels. Then Smashwords is strictly ebooks. It's an ebook portal. And they have places like, okay, you've heard of Apple. Apple has a store online. You can go there and you can buy ebooks. Sony, Barnes & Noble has the Nook. There's a place called Diesel eBooks. And then there's Baker and Taylor, who sells to the library market. And so there are ebooks that are being sold through the Baker Taylor library market. You could probably go to this librarian over here and download whatever ebooks you want to. So if anybody is interested in having their book published, you can contact me and I can get with you and help you along and try to get a book published. Like one guy said, don't die with the book still inside you. It has to come out, it has to be published, or else the world would be at a loss for what you had to offer. All right, thank you. That's it.